Hello and good morning. Welcome to Stampin' Chat. How are we all this morning? Let us check we're live in the right place. And going to be stamping with some new products this morning and also using the Hippest Hippos from the Celebration offering. If you're not sure what Celebration is, it's a promotion that's running through July and August. It's our second promotion of Celebration this year. And when you spend £45, you choose a free gift, which is amazing. So, who is joining me today? Weather is a bit strange. It's saying that it was going to be kind of sunny this morning and then maybe clouding over. Good morning, Margaret. How are you doing? Just talking about the weather, you know, typical British thing to do. And I've popped a dress on today. I thought I'd make a bit of an effort because I'm meeting a couple of girls in my team to arrange some travel things for a trip we're going on with Stampin' Up in November. So we need to get some flights sorted and accommodation. And the best way of doing that really is kind of getting together. Trying to do it over a WhatsApp group is just hard work. So yeah, and I've put a dress on and it's like, Margaret, yeah, it was sunny here at 7 as well. It was quite pleasant when I went down to water all the vegetables. And now it's kind of like gone a bit overcast, but it's dry. Little bit breezy out there, so not the warmest, but fingers crossed as the week goes on that we will get a bit of brighter weather. Good morning, Lucianne. How are you doing? Are you off to work? So this morning I am using the Hippest Hippos, which is a free Celebration offering. So if you spend £45 from any catalogue, so the new mini catalogue, the annual catalogue, or online through the clearance rack, or if you're purchasing kits, then you can choose this set for free. And if you spend £90, you can also choose the coordinating die set, which is brilliant. I've got it sat in front of me and it's so cute. So I've got 2 cards to create with you today. I'm also using the handmade wishes, which I used last time, and that lovely handmade tag as well. So without further ado, there's a few of you on here. Lucianne, back to work tomorrow. Yes, I've got some in here for you, so I'll message you when I finish my live. So definitely got something here for you. Okay, right, excuse the palm of the hand, set you down, get some lights on the situation. And, oh, I haven't moved my MacBook out of the way. All the things to remember. Get some light going. Definite frog in the throat as well again today. It seems like that's just how it is. MacBook is frozen. Why does it do that? I was trying to watch Facebook Live yesterday and it just kept throwing me out. It's very frustrating. Excuse me while I clear my throat. Oh, that happened last Tuesday. We rarely get an ambulance or anything going by here, and one has just gone by. Right, let's have a little shifty that way, and then we'll have a little zoom. So if you are joining, please do say hello. It's lovely to know who is here. I think we'll come in a little bit if we can. So I've set out on my desk the 2 stamps that I'm using. I did pop a little post up this morning. So using the handmade wishes for everyday projects at the moment. So just using some random stamps from there that work for kind of non-festive card making, scrapbooking, whatever. Your packaging. Obviously, once I do ink this up in Christmas colours, I'm excited to, you know, explore more with the holly and the gingerbread man and the lovely greetings that we've got in here. But for now, I'm just trying to kind of get some use out of it for the everyday. Right, let's try and get these comments up. Good morning, Janet. You are in the UK. What, you're in Scotland? A bit chilly up there, is it, my lovely? Not what you're used to, is it? Get acclimatised to that beautiful weather. Okay, so I'm also using, let's just pull in a few things, a couple of things I wanted to tell you about. So I can put those stamp sets to one side for a mo. Colour combo of the day is Crumb Cake, Evening Evergreen, Soft Seafoam and Pool Party. And I kind of went with Soft Seafoam and Pool Party. Let's move those out of the way. I think I've just moved the grid, but we'll straighten that up, get it taped down. Did I turn it the right way? Hope so. Okay, so in the Celebration brochure, which is this lovely little beauty, you've got lots of choices of free products to go for. And the hippos are the first in the book. So as I said, if you spend £45, you could choose the stamps, you could choose the dies. My second project today does focus more on the dies and not on the hippo. We've got other things in here. We've got this lovely Rings of Love paper, which I do have, and if I remember at the end, I'll open it. I always forget. I say, I'll tell you that at the end, or I'll show you that, and then I totally forget. But today I am using these, the Pool Party and Soft Seafoam cards and envelopes, and you get 20. I showed you these last time. You get 20 in a pack, so you get 10 Pool Party, 10 Soft Seafoam, and then you get your 20 envelopes, which are all the same. They're beautiful. I can see someone's chatting. Hello, Zana, how are you doing? Listening as you're getting on. Yeah, multitasking, we've all got to do that, haven't we? You arrived 10 days ago. Well, have a lovely trip. So, beautiful things in here. I think I might have showed you this paper as well last time. I've also had this stamp set arrive, which I've used. Oh, I'm reaching. Everything's avalanching now. I've used this on one of the cards I've got to show you after. But a really good set. This is free with a £90 spend, so you need to spend a little bit more. But a really great, fun set. All for free. And then we have the Tree Lot dies that I did show you last week. I still haven't used those yet. I do not know where this week has gone. Also a lovely combination there of stamps and dies. If you were hosting a workshop, you could get to choose the Perfect Pomegranate set for free if your order reaches that amount. And then of course we've got the great join offer, and this time you can get yourself this beautiful planner. Comes with the notebooks, and it also comes with a stamp set. But that is yours free when you join during Celebration. So do take a look at that. The other, so I think I showed you these last week, but basically we have, don't want to come out, Pool Party, lined envelopes. Oh, they're quite tightly packed in there. Let's move those out of the way. So we have these lovely pre-printed cards, so a great step to already getting your card complete because the front has been coloured for you. And then we've got these lovely lined envelopes that are printed on the front and on the tab on the back. They're beautiful. The other thing I'm using is just a teeny tiny slither of this DSP. Let's find it. It's called Lights Aglow, and of course it's Christmassy. I say of course, it's within like a Christmas suite. But I just loved the colours that were in there. Cherry Cobbler, Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, and then it's got some gold accents to it. So they're 6x6 sheets, as you can see. Let's open them. I'm not sure if I showed you last time. I think I might have. But let's just have a little peek. I've snipped into a couple. So we've got some black and some kind of soft succulent. I mean, they are beautiful. Not all screaming Christmas. definitely don't for me. I mean, some of these do, they've got snowflakes on, but I know that I'm going to be using these. Look at those, how fabulous are they? I'm going to be using these for non-festive projects, especially some of these reverse sides, which are just kind of like general. They're just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So that's the Lights Aglow. Let's move those out of the way. Today I'm also, I'm not using these stamps, but I'm using the dies. I used these last week. So this is the Splendid Thoughts stamp set and dies. And they are in a lovely suite, the Splendid Day suite. I'm going to be using these at my catalogue launch on Saturday. I do have a couple of spaces for that. If anybody wants to drop me a message if they can make it, I've got 2 spaces for that one. It's 9:30 we start here in the studio. So I think I've shared these papers with you as well. But how delicious is that sweet? I have got the papers here, but they're very... Let's just pull the edges in because I've been snipping. They're very foily, but then the reverse, oh, they're just stunning. The colours are gorgeous. So Calypso Coral, Soft Sea Foam, Pool Party, I believe that's Fresh Freesia. Aren't they lovely? Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm also going to be using, so these note cards sort of coordinate with that. And then within the suite as well, we've got these lovely trinkets. Stunning, absolutely stunning. They're kind of rose gold-esque. So beautiful. And then a product that I'm using today is the lovely, what is this actually called? Seam binding ribbon. It's got a lovely sheen to it, but it ties beautifully. So that's that suite there, but I'm just going to be using, I think, 1 die, maybe 2 dies from this set. Okie dokie, but not using the stamps today, used those last week. So let us start with some bits and pieces. So I'm going to be using, let's grab all the bits. Going to be using the Soft Sea Foam, also need my memento, card base. And as I said, these are a free, oops, knocking into everything now. These are a free celebration item. Let's get these inks out ready. Not even checked comments since I'm waffling on about what I'm using. Put that envelope to one side, shouldn't need that right at this moment. If you're hopping in, please do say hello. There's a few of you on here this morning. So let's start by folding this card base. Now, I will say they're not a real heavyweight card base. Probably, where's some basic white? Probably about the same as our basic white, and that's what I generally use. But because I use so many layers, it kind of helps give your card, you know, a bit of substance. So another product I'm using is the Handmade Tag Punch. So this coordinates with the Handmade Wishes stamp set, and I used that last week. So I'm going to be creating a tag with that one. But first, let's do a bit of stamping. Now I've mounted up this little sweetie. Good morning, Jenny. How are you doing, my lovely? Thanks for stopping by. Lovely to have you here. So I'm just going to be playing with doing a bit of hippo stamping and using this Christmassy set for like every day. So I'm not quite ready to embrace the full-on Christmas colours yet. It won't be long, but not just yet. Let's find a scrap because I need to ink up. I want to set this to dry for a moment. To ink up this hippo. How sweet. And let that sit for a minute to dry. Now, I pulled in some blends and I'm using grey granite for my hippo, and probably will just use the light version. And then I've just got a teeny weeny bit of colouring for the flowers, a flower even. Let's move that out of the way. And I wanted to use just soft sea foam and pool party, which are obviously the colours that I'm using just to do that. So I'm going to let this hippo sit for a moment. And I've just got some random pieces here. A couple of them are just for stamping on, and a couple are for die cutting. So while we're letting that hippo image absorb, let's do a bit of die cutting, and we'll do our tag as well. So I'm going to do a tag the same as I did last week using the handmade tag punch. Let's check I've got the right size, which I think I have. And I just want to, in between where the punch goes down, there's like a little, obviously you've got, when you punch, generally you put your paper in this way, but I want to feed this paper in so that the edge of my cardstock lines up with that little notch. I think my talking drives Alfie to sleep. I can hear him snoring away under the table. Bless his heart. And I'm just going to punch off an edge like that. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the opposite side. So I'm going to feed that in, line it up. I'm pushing it right to the top of the punch, and I'm lining up this left-hand side of the cardstock with that second little notch down and then punching it. Okay. Was a little bit in there. Can you see it's just slightly in, but we are not going to worry about that in the slightest. If it had gone any more, if it had notched in a little more, I would just take off a slither with your trimmer just so you don't sort of see that little indent. And then bring the punch back in, and we're just going to sort of round off the bottom corner. So I'm just popping it into one of those circles just to round off the edges, and then we've got this nice tag shape. So usage of the punch. Now I'm going to draw myself a little dot, which I hope is in the middle. I'll pull out my crocodile. We did do this last week, and I showed you a little tip on how to create your own little polo. But of course I've used the name's gone out of my head, the tag sets, and I'm finding it. The brain, tailor-made tags, of course. I mean, we have ready-made tags for you, but I've just used this. So if you don't have a die cutting machine, this punch will help you create some pretty tags. And we'll just glue that on there ready. Haven't had a chance to do any stamping yet, so hopefully the Tombow is going to play ball with us. So I've literally just put 2 tiny little dots on there. And then we'll just lay that little polo down to create our little tag top, our reinforced tag. What else do we need to do on here? Let's do some other stamping first. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my little mat because the Handmade Wishes is a photopolymer set, and as you know, Stampin' Up recommend we use a mat. This is from a Stamparatus, but you can buy a mat. We do have a mat in the catalogue. I can see I've not mounted that very straight on there, but I'm just going to leave it for now. I've obviously used it and left it on like that, and it's totally fine. What I want to do is take the Pool Party ink. Oh, it's a stiff one. And we'll take this scrap and I'm going to ink it up. Now, remember what I was saying about when you've got a stamp that has been like hollowed out, don't press too hard when you're inking. Firstly, when you're putting ink onto your stamp from your ink pad, and then when you're pressing down onto your cardstock, don't apply too much pressure, because one, it will distort what your image looks like, and two, it could actually move the stamp, which then won't line up too greatly in your punch. And that's the beauty of our products. It's the coordination, it's how they work together. So if you use them sensibly, they're going to work together. I find this takes me a minute to line up so I have a nice even border. Not talking now because I'm concentrating. That will do. No, it won't. Oh, it's such hard work being fussy, honestly. Such a fussy pants. But in my theory is, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. So we've got that lovely, lovely tag. Got a mark on there. I think that might have already been on there. Oh, bit of rubber there, stuck to my adhesive remover. But we can cover that over, that's not a problem. So obviously looks like a square that way, and kind of more diamond shaped like that way. And I love the way things like that look. So when you're actually popping this on a card, it can look so different just by twisting. It looks like a completely different shape. A bit deceiving to the eye. Okay, now I've got a scrap of soft sea foam, and I want my evening evergreen. What did we all get up to at the weekend, guys? Did you have a lovely one? Margaret, that's very clever. Is that the use of the tag punch to create the tag? That was me playing around with it last week. I was like, what will this tag do? Hello, Belle. How are you doing, my lovely? I'm looking forward to catching up with you later. So I need to get a wriggle on because I've got a date. Got a coffee date with the girls. Okay, so mounted up this image here. Oh, you really are the best. So we've got 4 greetings in here that kind of work well with these images. But for this one, I don't want the whole of it. I don't want the or, which is cute. But, oh gosh, just unravelled my linen thread. I've got to wind it back on, otherwise it will bug me. Right, this very rubbish washi tape, which is not very sticky, I'm going to use for this task. And what I'm going to do is mask off the top part of this greeting, which says or are, as we would kind of say are. And I'm going to ink it up in the evergreen. Carefully, so as not to cover myself in it. Pull it off. Now it's stuck to me. So that I have just inked the words that I want. And I'm going to stamp that down. Didn't need them out under here, but it's fine. Got a bit of washi in there. Let's get rid of that. Come off. Don't want you get it. Doesn't want to come off. There we go. I don't want that sticking to a stamp when I go to use it. And what I'm going to put in are my old faithful stylish shapes. And we're just going to cut that one out. Do I need to do any other die cutting while I'm here? Yes, I do. So we'll do that now. So I'm going to line that in. So we've just got You Really Are the Best, which is still a great greeting without the whole of everything else as well. And then I've pulled in a scrap of Pool Party. How fun are these dies? Honestly, you could have so much fun playing with these. I'm not fussy at all, am I, Belle? Zanny, you went for a meal Sunday and it was the worst one ever. Oh no. Was the food not good? Oh dear. It's not very nice when you make an effort to go out and then it's not the best of events. Right, what I want is this cute little flower duo. Might just get those in that way. I think that's, oh no, need one more die cut. That's what this piece is for. The splendid stems, and I did debate whether to bring this in or not because I don't normally like using too many different products to create one card, but when you've got foliage, whoa, that moved. When you've got foliage stamps or dies, you're going to be pulling them out. They're an investment. You're going to be pulling them out all of the time to add to your projects. I can guarantee you that. Run these through. Let's move that out of the way for a mo. So annoying when I can't read the comments, honestly. Zana, whose wedding are you getting ready for? How cute are these? They're flowers, but they almost look like paint splats to me just because of the random way that the petals are going down. Luciane, you've been making cards for your cousin in Belgium. That sounds fun. And then, how sweet is that? Just love these dies. Put those back where they belong. That seems like a bit of a waste, but I will, I promise, use the edges on that one. You could use that for something else. You could move these pieces out. Never throw away negatives. I mean, I'm not encouraging you to hoard every single piece of paper that you get left with, but imagine that on a card. And then if you die cut that, say in soft seafoam, and then put the soft seafoam pieces back in, how pretty would that look? So always think about the leftover pieces. I mean, you know how bad my scrap bags are, don't you? I don't throw a lot away. I keep the little scraps, but I will be honest, they do come in and I do use them, so. Comments. Yeah, Belle, that's right. If you've got your staples, like when you've got your shapes dies, you pull those out all of the time. And then when you've got some really good kind of foliage or flower dies, you know, they come in to fill in white space. So I totally agree. Luciane using the ladybug stamps and punch. I've not pulled that one out for a little while. Too many products here to play with. Zana. You had a long hair in your cooked food. That is not pleasant. It was for your brother-in-law's birthday. Well, I think they needed to refund your bill. That is not very pleasant at all. And you got a friend's wedding. That's lovely. Cannot beat a wedding, can you? We've got a wedding celebration next month. Not the actual wedding because it was a surprise wedding when Jason was in Monaco. But we're going to an event that they're holding to celebrate their wedding. So we've got this beautiful die cut. I'm looking at all my bits and pieces. I'm thinking, right, what else do I need to do? Let's colour in this one. And then we're going to be using this little trio of dots, which don't let it escape you. It's here. I think it's probably the berries for the holly. But it's great for filling in a bit of white space. So let's pull up a chair and do a little bit of colouring. Now I'm going to use the light grey granite. I'm not the greatest person for colouring in. I'm not a technique person, and when I colour, I tend to just go like around the outside when I'm doing something like this, and then kind of leave the middle rather than trying to blend, this is a very small gap to try and blend like the light and the dark. So I'm just going to very gently go over that centre part, and then hopefully we'll get like a lighter piece in the middle. Now I've seen loads of different ways of colouring this hippo, and originally I coloured it in crumb cake, and I wasn't sure if that was the colour that I was sort of looking for. So that was why I sort of pulled out my grey granite and thought, let's have a go with that. And I don't know whether I wanted this part, which would be like his nose or her nose, whatever you choose, whether to leave it white or whether to colour it in like I did on my original. And I think on this one, now that I've got to this point, I'm going to colour it in. So I'm just going to go around the outside in a circular motion, gradually heading towards the centre, so that the outer part is dark. And I guess you could kind of just come in with your, and I'm just going to like line over the middle bit really quickly. I'm going to add a little bit under there. Maybe we could add a little bit of dark, like a little row of dots, and just pull that into the rest of the body. And maybe a little bit of darkness down here. Imagine where there kind of would be a shadow. I'm pretty rubbish at colouring in. Let's just say, if I've got the right lids on. No, always put the wrong lids back on. So I'm going to leave it at that. And as that dries, it looks quite defined, but as it dries, it will kind of like blend in. The alcohol, the pens, they kind of like bleed into the paper. So when I'm colouring, like when I was colouring up to that flower, I didn't go exactly right next to the black line, because it kind of like bleeds in. So we're just going to have a bit of soft sea foam, which doesn't stand out that well, for the leaf. And then we'll do the flower in Pool Party. How cute is this hippo? They're all cute, the hippos in this set. All three of them. We have the ballerina one. We've got this. He looks very guyish because he looks like he's doing a John Travolta move or something. And then this cute one here that's sending love with a flower. And of course, in true Stampin' Up style, we have a die to cut it out, which is just fabulous. Scrolling. You've got another one at the end of the month, Sana, another wedding. Good morning, Jude. How you doing? Thank you, Belle, for being kind to me with my colouring. I'm always quick. I don't think you need to faff about when you're colouring with these pens. They kind of do the work for you. And depending on what you're doing, if you were doing a very intricate flower, I'll just cut this out, you would want to be using both colours to help blend them together. But when you're doing something like this, I don't really feel there's a massive need to, you know, spend an hour, not an hour, but spending a length of time colouring something in that's just really quick to do. Oh, so cute, with a wink of the eye. What else do we need? I think that's it. I've just got a bit of stamping to do. I might do that now. I'm going to do that on the tag. And I'm going to have to like guesstimate, because I would normally do this at the end when I've got things on it, but I want to do it now so that it's done. So as I said, this little trio, gently tapping, and we're going to add one down here, one up here, and one over here, like a trio. Now if they're in the wrong place, they're in the wrong place. and we can always add one in after. Love this tag. Love it. How pretty is that? Right, chair back out of the way. Let's bring back in, move these inks, especially that, even in evergreen. I'm going to be dunking something into that, like I did last week, I think, wasn't it? So this beautiful card base, I want to lay it down on, but I also want to pop in a couple of things behind. And this is where the gorgeous seam binding ribbon comes into the picture. I'm just going to cut myself 2 strips. I think we'll go that way. Oh, that wasn't a very crisp one. That was a very long cut as well. Let's just trim that at a different angle. That was a bit of a lengthy cut. Let's go that way. That was a bit quick as well. It moved. And then I want another piece roughly about the same size. Like that. Move all these bits out of the way. This ribbon is so light. I'm gonna have to trim a little bit off of that one. It's a bit long. It kind of slides when you're cutting. It slides away from your scissors. So be mindful of that. And all I'm going to do is pop them straight down onto my card. Straight onto the base. You're going to send a ballerina one to your niece, Jude. Oh, she used to do ballet. Vivi said she wants to do ballet, which is quite sweet. She was like a baby elephant, not a hippo. Oh, bless. Right, so I'm going to pop straight down onto a glue dot. Lift that off. Easiest way to attach ribbon is definitely with a glue dot. And I want to place these, to be a bit mindful, about 1/3 of the way up. I haven't pushed that down, I'm just debating for a moment until I actually stick them. Let's just have a look. Let's just go with it. Stick, you're down. If you're in the wrong place, you're in the wrong place. And then we're going to pop our tag on top like that. No dimensionals under here, although I'm not going to put glue this side because I want to feed in this lovely foliage. So we're just going to pop that one down onto our card base, hoping it is somewhat in the middle. That would be fine. Got glue on me now. And then I didn't pop glue under here because I want to feed this underneath like that. So literally, my hands have got the wobbles today. I'm going to pop that under like that, just so it's popping out. And it's just a little bit of something, like randomly popping out behind this tag, just to break up kind of the space behind. And now I cut a piece of this Lights Aglow, is it called? The DSP. And I've cut a strip, probably at about 1/2 inch. It's usually, yeah, 1/2 inch. And then I've cut it in half, so it would have been 6 inches and now it's 3 inches. So I've got the other piece that I'm going to use on my next card. And I just want to chop off the end at an angle. And we're going to lay this down onto the bottom of the tag. It seems sacrilege, like hiding that bit behind. But there are so many more sheets in this pack that we can use some gold ones another time. So I'm going to pop that there like that. And I'm going to add some dimension to my tag. I want this card to pop. Let's just do 3. You could put more if you wanted. And I need to think, because I need to hide that little smudge there. I'm going to lay this over that DSP without hiding. That's not very central, is it? It's a bit better. I know you get used to my faffing. Just laugh at myself really about it. Yeah, that foliage is kind of like randomly popping out there. It's like, you might even look at it and think, what even is that coming out behind that tag? But, and then we're going to add yet again another layer of dimension behind this greeting. I'm going to pop that one bang in the middle of that label, that little central label. Now my hippo needs, it's looking a bit flat, so let's give it a bit of life. And I've definitely lost that because this hippo is going to go right over the top of it. But never fear, you could stamp another. To be honest, I may leave it. We'll see. It just wasn't high enough. Might look a bit uneven. I'm just a bit conscious now. If I stamp over here, do you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's just stamp it. If it goes wrong, we'll have to put a butterfly there, won't we? I'm just going to do it above. That's okay. There, it's like popping out of its head now, which looks even more random than the foliage coming out of its head as well. Right, so at least we're hiding that smudge. That's the main thing. I'm going to just pop that little hippo there. I am just going to add, let's just get a little glue on here. I should have popped a little bit of glue just under the hippo to make sure it doesn't wobble about under there. So we've got some ribbon popping out underneath. Got that random like triffid growing behind the hippo. And then the little flowers. We're just going to pop down to bring in the pool party. And we'll put one here. As I've said, they are kind of very much like a splat. Oh, Alfred's such a hard life. He must be having a big stretch by the yawn that's coming out of him. Love him. Let's just make that petal. Touch the edge of the circle so it pops up. And then we're going to pop in some pearls. Placing an order today, so if there's anything you want, we have got 2 new kits as well. I forgot to show you that. I'll show you after. But we've got 2 new kits gone live. Sneak, look. A million thanks. Look at those colours. How sweet is that? I'm going to be adding that to my list. But what I was thinking was, don't know why there's an Alfie hair on there. That wasn't what I was thinking. What I was thinking was I must get some more pearls, because it looks like there's a lot on there, but they soon disappear. We'll have a medium on there. And we could have left it at that, but I thought, let's tie a bow. Just checking comments. linen thread, one of my most favourite textured threads we've got, just because I love the natural colour of it. Now on my original I've done a double, so let's do a double. So I'm just going to tie a bow roughly to the size I want it. I'm not going to pull it tight, and it's that long, so I'm going to undo it and then make it double length. And then we'll snip it. Oops. Snip it into 2 pieces. Oh, what happened then? My MacBook just threw me out. Lost all your comments. The strange things it does. Right, let's just tie a bow. So I've got both pieces of twine together, and we'll just tie a bow with both of them at the same time. Might have some strings longer. One side, pull it tight, and then pinch in the middle and just pull the opposite side. Not as big as I wanted it, but we need to even out those tails. So we've got a little double bow, and then of course to attach that we just need a glue dot. So we'll just roll one over. I'm going to pop it at the top of that circle. And then we haven't got to wait for any glue to dry. It is fixed on there. So how cute is this hippo? I just think it's great for children's cards, for adult cards. Anything goes. You know, if you've got a hippo fan friend who just loves hippos, then this set is going to be brilliant. But I think what I love the most are these, just because of all the cute little elements that are in these. Jude, you and your bows, a double bow, yeah. Single bows are hard enough. I can't help it. Bows just come easily to me. They just always have. So that's the first card. There's my original. In fact, I didn't even have a stamped bit up there, but I quite like that third one. So cute. Very cute. Love these card bases. They just add an instant lift without thinking about it. So now let's do the pool party one. Got some bits and pieces of evening evergreen, soft succulent, a bit of crumb cake, some white layers. So let's start by folding our base. Oh, I've got too many things. Let's move some bits out of the way. Don't like to be cluttered. Right, make sure we've got our card facing the right way. So I need to do a bit of die cutting. In fact, this card is mostly die cutting. And we're doing a bit of punching as well. So let us start. I'm trying to fathom out what all of these pieces are for. So we've got the other half of that 6-inch strip. Those pieces are layering down. These we're die cutting. These we're die cutting. Thinking that's it. It's going to be quite a quick one, this one, which is just as well because it will give me a chance just to get straight before I have to dash out. And I've got just another couple of new products to show you as well. So let's bring in the cutting plate. I'm going to start off, see if we can cut all of these in one go, or most of them. First of all, the stylish shapes. Now I need to check which one it is that I want. It's that one. Oh, must you scratch right there? At least get on your bed so you don't make a noise. Oh, bless him. I feel bad now for telling him off. And then we need these. Now I am using this as foliage. I don't know what it's exactly meant to be, but it could be anything. It can be anything you want it to be. Don't you agree with things like that? Right, I've already got some flowers cut, but I might just do some white ones if I've got enough. Why is my brain not concentrating? So we're going to do this, I was going to say bucket, but it's kind of like a shallow bucket, a tub. We'll do that in crumb cake. And then I need, from the Splendid Stems, this beautiful one here. And I've got some bits and pieces cut already. We'll see if we can get all of these through in one go without them moving. Right, I'll move slowly so they don't whiz about. So we seem to have a really super busy weekend. Sunday we didn't stop, what with like food shop. We did more garden centre browsing for furniture. We think we've narrowed it down to the one we want, which of course happens to be one of the most expensive, but just the way, isn't it? Bought a couple of plants. How cute is that? Hello Kim, how are you doing? I am good, hope you are too. Just see that popping up on my phone. So I'm just cutting some elements from, how lovely is this? From the Hippo set and the Splendid Stems, is it called? I'm turning around. Splendid Stems. So take those off, put all of these dies back where they belong straight away so they don't get lost. Because the Hippo dies have 19 dies in this set. So you do not want to be losing any of those. So we've got some elements here. I've got some bits and pieces that I've cut earlier because I didn't want you to be watching me die cut multiples of flowers. The next thing, let's do some stamping and then we can start assembling. So I don't need that because I'm going to use this one again. So let's get another piece of washi. I can hear a magpie out there. They've got a very distinct noise. They're not very friendly birds, are they? Although I had Evsy yesterday. She's my middle granddaughter. She's just 2. And I picked her up sort of straight after the school run and we came back here and I had my breakfast and she had like her 3rd breakfast, which was a piece of toast, and she just left 2 small pieces of this toast. So I had some bread, so I put it outside for the birds. And usually like the bigger birds, they get a bit greedy, don't they? And the small birds don't get like a bit of a look in. And when we went out in the garden for a wander to have a look round, I looked over and who was eating the toast that I'd put out on the floor? Yes, Alfie. Little monster. Was not really pleased with him for that. Right, now this next bit, I'm not really sure how I did it. And I don't know whether I can remember how I actually did it, but we're just going to go with the flow. So I've inked that up. I'm going to pull that off. And we're going to stamp this down. Now I'm looking. This is where I love a photopolymer because I could have stamped it after. But we're just going to hope that it works. I need it to be somewhere in the middle. And if it doesn't work, do you know what? It's fine. And And that's a bit crooked, but we're going to have to go with it. So we've got "You really are the best." And I hope I've cut the right length of strip that I need. So I'm just going to feed this in and make myself a little, hopefully you can see. So I've made it slightly wider than this point. I think this measures 7/8 of an inch. Yeah. So I've just fed it in, and then I'm going to do the same the other side. And just to create, this is where my greeting, if it was straight, it would have looked better. Sorry, I'm trying to see, and do I need to go in a bit more? No, let's just go with it. And then we've just created like a little label. Kim, you've got horrible weather there. Oh, and that you've got floods everywhere. Oh, that is not good. I'm glad to hear that you are safe. Yeah, our concerns always go out for others who are affected, don't we? Well, please stay safe. You know, we've had a lot of floods here in the past as well. It's very worrying, isn't it, what is happening to our world? You know, these unusual things that are happening with weather. But yes, please stay in, stay safe, and shed a thought for all of those people that are going through trauma and terrible times. Right, I've cut a little strip of soft sea foam, and this could be any length really, but I wanted it bigger than my circle. So it measures 2 3/4, and it's just an offcut, but it measures 3/8 of an inch deep. Is it straight? Yeah, just checking the end. Then I also want, using this punch as well, I thought could create a little border just by punching. Oh, it flew. A strip from the straight edge. And all we're going to do is add those two together. So just put a little bit of Tombow along there. And make it, push it in a bit actually. Don't want too much of the white coming out. Let's line that up. Hoping my head wasn't in shot then. I was forgetting about my camera and trying to hover over what I was doing. So we just created like a little border there. But what we're going to do first is mount these two together. So we've got this little leftover strip. Well, it's not leftover. I purposely cut the piece at 3. Oh, why does that look a different length? Ah, I've just remembered why. I was going to stick it on there, and then I'm like, hang on a minute, it's not long enough. So I know I've glued it, but I'm going to snip it. I have to clean my scissors after. And I'm going to put half that side, and then this half this side. So when I pop the circle over the top, you'd think it was a longer piece. It's quite hard to see because it's dark. So I've split it in 2, but when that goes over, you'd never know that I've kind of stretched it. So this layer is going to go down straight onto the card. And I'll measure this for you, and it probably is just from my scraps envelope. I'm going to pop that just down below the centre. How pretty is this background? So you can see where this die is very similar to this pattern. You can see where the coordination comes in. And then this little border, I'm just going to pop below it. So we're supposed to be, our weather is supposed to be brightening up this week, but it's not making much of an effort so far, shall we say. We had a bit of rain over the weekend. On Sunday we were kind of dodging because I spent a lot of time out in the garden on Sunday in between walking Alfie, dashing to the garden centre to look at furniture, food shopping and everything else. Spent a lot of time out there, but it was cloudy and we had a spot of rain. The weather just doesn't know what it's doing. Okay, so this circle is going flat down onto here. And as I said, we're just going to hide that join like that. And then we're going to pop on here our little basket and we're going to fill it with flowers. So, oops, hippo dies aren't just for hippos. Look at all of the elements that you've got in that die set and think how else you can use them. Not just to dress your hippo. I mean, dressing your hippo in snorkels and a mask is great fun with water drops. Sitting in, I've got one here that I've done. Sitting in the little bucket. I mean, if, you know, cute, very cute. But for this one, I just wanted to show you how you could do something with the dies. Right, let's start off with this lovely stem in the centre first. So we just pop that one in. Kind of in the middle. Take some of that glue off. Oh, I need a couple more of these. And we'll just give those a, oops, bit of a curl. Yeah, my back is reminding me that I was gardening at the weekend. I was really impressed with myself though. My vegetable garden, when I show photos on Instagram on my stories, it doesn't look very big. I think a photo just never tells a true story, does it, with everything? It's quite a big area, and I managed to weed all of it because where we've had like some drizzle and rain, well, plenty of weeds coming through. I hoed all of it, so I turned over the top layer of the whole of the kitchen garden. And it looked really nice, and I swept it all as well. Got rid of everything because we have a green garden waste bin here that we put out. I've got 3 compost bins, but not everything can go on there. So I managed to fill up the bin, the green bin, to wheel out on Monday morning, which was good. So yeah, I had a great sense of achievement. I even managed to squeeze in some ironing on Sunday. Right, I'm just gonna pop in some random flowers. So yeah, I really felt like I achieved a lot. I even also made jam with some raspberries. So my raspberries are still coming. I picked a few more last night. They're starting to slow a bit, but I've picked a lot. And I made 2 batches of jam over the weekend. Need another large blue. So yeah, so I'd already, last week I was freezing the raspberries because they don't stay fresh for very long. So I made more jam, made jam on Sunday, and then I made some more jam last night whilst I was back and forth working over here. So I'm just laying in, filling in some gaps with these little flowers. Yeah, also got some ironing done. So I achieved a lot the weekend. I was quite pleased because I had a lot of things to tick off the list. Let's just turn you around a bit. It's better. And maybe one more. Ooh, my Tombow end is looking a bit messy. If you keep the end of your Tombow kind of clean, it will perform better. You'll get much, obviously if it's clean on the end, you're going to get a nicer kind of drizzle of glue coming out. Right, the other thing I want nice to pop these in, just to add a little bit of greenage. Greenage, ever such a word, foliage, just to bring in a bit of colour. So we'll pop those in there. And we'll have one over here. Let's glue that bit and just wedge it in. Might be just as easy. Like that. Got a bit of a sticky patch in the middle there, but might have to fill that in with another flower. Let's just do that. Just because there's a real sticky patch there. Okay, and then we're going to pop on our little greeting. Add a dimensional one side, and then we'll pop a bit of glue on the right hand side and kind of hover it over the top of the tub. And I think that will be fine. And you'll see on my original, and I can't figure out how I made the label, but you'll see it does look different. Right, let's just check some comments. You've got black clouds rolling over, Zana. I know, it did say on the radio this morning at 6 that it was going to be sunny this morning, clouding over later. Let's hope it's doing the opposite, hey? Because it's very cloudy here too. Right, just to finish, let's add in some pearls, because that will just pick it up. Rhinestones would look equally as beautiful on here, or anything you've got. I mean, I've got some new sparkles here. Fine sparkle adhesive back gems. They would look quite sweet on there, but I'm going to stick with the pearls for now, because I love them. And we'll just pop in the centres. Maybe have a bigger one on that one. Of course, you can colour these in, if you wish, with your Stampin' Blends, or if you've got a permanent marker, you can turn these into any colour of whatever pen you have, of course. Maybe we'll put a larger one there, because that one's at the front. And there we go. We've got a little basket of flowers. I know we've got that added foliage, but using the hippo dies. Here's my original. Do you think I could fathom out in my head how I created that shape? And I know it looks very similar, but I couldn't get it. When I tried to redo it, I couldn't do it. And the difference being is from this corner point to the edge here. Can you see this one's longer? The curve is longer. My brain would not fathom out how I did that. I mean, obviously it's possible because I did it. I just need to maybe not try and figure it out too late in the day. So thank you, Kim. Glad you liked the card. Let's bring in the others. So we've got a cute hippo, and then we've got the basket. And remember, all of these cute things that are in here. I mean, we've got the boat, we've got the life, the boy. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And we've got hearts. I'll show you something else I've done with it. I think I showed you this before, but I've also got another one with a pop of colour. So this was done using the umbrellas and the hearts and the flowers, and then I've just added loads of splat behind there. So the umbrellas are so cute. And then this is another fun one for a young person maybe. So bringing in a pop of colour, we got Sweet Sorbet, Flirty Flamingo and Soft Sea Foam. You know I love that colour combo. And again, I've used this is another Celebration item, the Amazing Phrases. So I just stamped the hay and then cut it out, just fussy cut around it. And then did the You Really Are the Best again from this one, from the Hippo set. So yeah, really bright, but she's holding her umbrella and she's being showered with love. So love those hearts. Yeah, pretty cute. But these card bases that are free with Celebration, they're just fabulous. I love them. And you get 20. You get a whole 20 in your pack. So 10 of each colour. Let's do up these inks. I don't know if I've got a lot more to show. Got a couple of products, but I don't think I've got anything made because I've been busy doing stuff for my event on Saturday, and then I've got an all-day event the following Saturday. So I've been super busy. Kim, you like the hippo? Right, Belle. Is the first one pushed into the top of the punch, not the side? Yeah, I need to have another play. I just couldn't get my head around it. Need to have another play. What have I got on my desk? I don't know if I showed you these last week. Let's have a look. So, this card here, can you see that tag? You know I love tags. That's from a new set called Celebrations Tags. I'm going to get so much use out of this. I love it. I love tags, but this is like a little fold-up pocket tag. We've got snowflakes, we've got like general birthday, we've got hearts, we've got candles, we've got banners. We've got this die that cuts out like snow or confetti. Absolutely love that. It's bundled with this stamp set here. I've not used this just yet. It's £22. Red rubber, as you can see. So it's a cling. But I also thought I bought this one first because it is not just Christmas. Okay, obviously we've got great happy birthday greeting. We've got to and from to use on our tags. We've got celebrate, we've got made with love. Of course, we've got a couple of Christmas things in there. But how cute. I cannot wait to play with some of these things that are kind of like scream a bit as Christmassy, but then also you're going to get so much more use out of them. So that's one new set, and then another new set I've got to meet is Vintage Christmas. We're using this at my catalogue launch on Saturday, and it coordinates with the Vintage Bottle Punch, which is fab. And don't forget, it goes with the Bottled Happiness as well. So I've been doing combinations of both of those. So, and my theory for this one is on Saturday, we're not doing Christmas for this. It's non-Christmas, but we're using this set. So this one is just £15. Okay. It's not bundled with the punch, but the Bottled Happiness is. Okay. So these two are the bundle. Love those. Oh, I promised I'd open you this paper. This is, what are we called? Rings of Love. Move those out of the way a sec. Let's open it up. I haven't opened it, of course. I haven't opened it because I'm opening it now. The brain. So this is a free Celebration offering. Let's grab my catalogue. It goes with... What else have I marked on here? The three that I used. Just wondering whether I marked this. It goes with, what is it called? Ringed with Nature. Belle, you were sharing this. Love this. Absolutely. I just love the house on here. Love the mushrooms. You've also got an acorn in there. How gorgeous. It's not necessarily just Christmassy. You've got that poinsettia there in the middle. But the dies are with a hybrid embossing folder, so they kind of cut out this. You can see the die there, and it goes with the embossing folder, and it just look at that texture. Cute card there, the acorns. That's definitely on my list, but this paper coordinates with it. Oh, I've got so many things stacked on my chair. Let's have a look what pictures we've got in here. Oop, too many pages. So this is the paper. It's free with a £45 spend. And we've got some lovely ideas here for you. So another fabulous one. Let's have a quick look. I mean, this front one's quite busy for me, but in small doses. I love the reverse. Some really great colours in here. That's very pretty with the birds on. Whoa, look at that background. Amazing. You could chop out these houses. That's so sweet. I feel like some home decor projects coming. It's kind of a bit like a mandala, isn't it? Love these colours. This colour palette is very inspiring to me. Can't turn the page. Very kind of autumnal. And you've kind of like got the wood slice there. And that one's quite festive, isn't it? Love that. So that pack is free with a £45 spend. So amazing. Amazing, amazing. Right, one last thing to share about the kits. Got 2 new kits online today. I love this one. A million thanks. And then we've got the Best Remedy kit. I'll pop a post up on my Facebook group with some pictures of what's inside. But if you head over to my online store, you can view them there. So just quickly look at comments. So yeah, so that's new, what's going on at the moment. So don't forget, got new mini catalogue, got Celebration, we've got the join offer, lovely free planner with stamps and notebooks. So a lot going on, a lot going on. Let's bring these back in. So we get a final shot of what we did today. And then I'm going to get tidied up, get organised, because I've got to get going very soon, and I'm not exactly sure how long it'll take me to get to my coffee date with a couple of girls in my team. So really excited for that. So thank you all for joining me. Please take care, whatever you are up to. Take care and stay safe. And I will be back. Of course, I've got the envelopes as well. How beautiful. They go with both equally. Yeah, please take care, and I'll be back with you all very, very soon. So bye for now.